dispense with?
Without objection.
From coast to coast, American families are facing an explosion of violent crime on their streets and in their neighborhoods. 2020 saw homicides skyrocket nationwide, the sharpest one-year increase in decades. And 2021 is already shaping up to be even worse. Last year, Seattle saw a 61% increase in murders citywide. In 2020, Minneapolis saw homicides hit levels not seen since the 1990s. And so far, 2021 is about doubling last year's pace. Here in Washington, 2020 saw homicides hit a 16-year high, and again, 2021 is already on an even worse trajectory. The situation is devolving all across the country. In my hometown of Louisville, as one report put it, quote, the number of slayings in 2020 dwarfed anything Louisville has seen, obliterating the previous record. Crime and delinquency have many causes. In some ways, the pandemic likely contributed. But it's impossible to ignore that these terrible trends are coming precisely as so-called progressives have decided it's time to denounce and defund local law enforcement. Seattle, for example, cut police funding by 20%. Minneapolis defunded cops by millions of dollars. The District of Columbia City Council approved $15 million in cuts. These boneheaded decisions are the direct result of anti-law enforcement fad that has swept through the political left like a wildfire. And perhaps just as important as these funding cuts is the wave of hostile sentiment that comes with them. Harvard scholars have found that after high-profile incidents reduce the trust that the public and politicians put in the police, the cities in question receive less active policing and subsequently see an increase in crime, including homicides. In other words, in the wake of terrible incidents like we saw last summer, local leaders should look for ways to build bridges and rebuild trust between the vast majority of brave and honorable officers and their communities. Oh no, but instead what they do, from city councils to the halls of Congress, many on the far left decided to crank the knob all the way up on anti-cop rhetoric all across the board. Quote, not only do we need to disinvest from police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. Quote, policing in our country is inherently and intentionally racist. No more policing, incarceration, and militarization. Incredulous people ask whether this nonsense was ever meant seriously. Helpfully, one member of Congress clarified, quote, defunding police means defunding police, end quote. A clarifying comment. A small set of politicians may see selfish opportunities for fame or fundraising if they defame and defund the police, but American families are paying a deadly price. Defunding the police isn't just a terrible idea for overall public safety. It's also a uniquely awful strategy for racial justice. One study recently confirmed that, quote, larger police forces save lives, and the lives saved are disproportionately black lives. So look, I'm not sure exactly how the rantings of the far left Twitter about crime and policing became official Democratic Party dogma in so many places across America. What I do know is that ordinary Americans cannot bear much more of this, and that goes double for the most vulnerable neighborhoods. Now, Madam President, on another matter, last week the Senate took up sweeping legislation. It touches on big issues that span many committees, from economic policy to national security to scientific research and beyond. 86 senators voted to proceed to this debate, me included. That wasn't because the legislation was ready to go. It happened because there's broad bipartisan agreement that America needs to upgrade our competitiveness with China. Broad agreement that this subject deserved a robust debate and amendment process. Since then, we voted on some amendments, but as of this moment, the Senate's bipartisan work is simply not completed. The Democratic leader indicated that if the chairman and ranking members worked together, if committees put their heads together, their work would get consideration out here on the floor. Well, Chairman Wyden and Ranking Member Crapo of the Finance Committee have a bipartisan provision that's ready to go. They've already done the hard work. They've reached a solution. But thus far, the Democratic leader has refused to include it in his substitute and has not allowed the Senate to vote on it separately. These are long-term issues we're considering. We need to get this right. And during the time this legislation had been on the floor, we've had entire days come and go without any votes at all on the bill. In several instances, the Democratic leader chose to pivot away from this legislation and devote floor time to nominations. So there's no excuse for shutting off debate prematurely before the Senate's been able to have its say. So we'll have to see how today unfolds. With additional amendments, the Democratic leader lets the Senate consider how open a process he permits. Republicans don't want some big fight over this. We'd like to see an outcome, a bipartisan outcome. Even now, discussions are continuing behind the scenes. But the Democratic leader should not try to force a cloture vote prematurely to stifle the Senate before members are satisfied that our work is finished. There's nothing unusual about a minority party denying cloture to secure more amendment votes. I've been here a while. This happened all the time. 6 years ago, even after about 24 amendment votes, Democrats blocked cloture on a Keystone Pipeline bill until the Senate took 12 more amendment votes on top of that. Just last year, even as the economy was tanking around us, the Democratic leader blocked cloture multiple times on the CARES Act, emergency legislation. Why? He wanted more changes. But I hope it doesn't come to that today. I hope the Democratic leader lets the Senate be the Senate so we can finish this important legislation. Now, one final matter, as my colleagues know, I've been clear and unflinching in my own statements about January the 6th. But as I've also repeated, there's no new fact about that day we need the Democrats' extraneous commission to uncover. The Department of Justice is deep into a massive criminal investigation. 440 plus people have already been arrested. Hundreds have been charged. Even more arrests are said to be planned. And the Attorney General indicates this investigation will remain a top focus. Multiple Senate committees are conducting their own bipartisan inquiries. And obviously, the role of the former president has already been litigated exhaustively in the high-profile impeachment trial we had right here in the Senate several months ago. I do not believe the additional extraneous commission that Democratic leaders want would uncover crucial new facts or promote healing. Frankly, I do not believe it is even designed to do that. That's why the Speaker's first draft began with a laughably rigged and partisan starting point, and why the current language would still lock in significant unfairness under the hood. So I'll continue to support the real, serious work of our criminal justice system in our own Senate committees. And I'll continue to urge my colleagues to oppose this extraneous layer when the time comes for the Senate to vote.
Under the previous order, the leadership time is reserved. Morning business is closed. Under the previous order, the Senate will resume